Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, children. Today we are going to continue with a very important and interesting topic, children. Today your attention is very important because we are going to discuss on Kirchhoff's law, and we are also going to discuss about how the direction of currents will be. Now we will have to apply this Kirchhoff's law to find the value of currents through circuits. Now till last classes we were talking about circuits. We were discussing about connection of resistors in series parallel, which involves 2 or 3 resistors in a circuit. So we were able to easily solve it by using Ohm's law. But when circuits involves more number of resistors and more number of cells, means where the circuit is becoming complex, in that case we cannot find the solution with Ohm's law. Instead we have to go for Kirchhoff's law. So today we are moving on to Kirchhoff's law. We are going to discuss 2 laws. So today our topic is Kirchhoff's law. We are going to talk about 2 laws. One is Kirchhoff's current law. The other one is Kirchhoff's voltage law. So let us start with Kirchhoff's current law. Now current law, or otherwise you call it as junction rule. Okay. So first let us read the law. What is the law? The algebraic sum of the currents. The algebraic sum of the currents at any junction of a circuit is 0. Now let us consider this A to be a junction. Okay. Now you have currents coming from different directions. So this is current I1 which is moving towards the junction. Now this is current I2 moving towards the junction because arrow moving towards. Okay, so I2. Then look at this current, children, I3 which is moving away from the junction, and here I4 moving away from the junction, and I5 moving away from the junction. So let us consider this to be a junction, and the law states that the algebraic sum of the currents at any junction of a circuit is considered to be 0. Now this is in conservation of electric charges. Now first law, whenever we talk about Kirchhoff's current, excuse me children, okay, which is based on law of conservation of electric charges, where the charges are conserved. Okay. Now here they talk about the algebraic sum of the current. So let us write the total amount of current here. Now what is the direction of current I1? Now whenever the direction of current is towards the junction, we'll take the value of the current to be positive. Whenever the current is moving away from the junction, we take the value of the current to be negative. This is the sign convention that we use here. For every law, we need to follow a sign convention. As far as this is concerned, now let me write this for you. Okay, so first we'll take with I1. So I1 is the current that is entering towards the junction. So this I1 has got a positive value. Okay, ma. Next, what is I2? Again, I2 is also coming towards the junction, so it is plus I2. Now look at I3. I3 is moving away from the junction, so it is minus I3. Then plus, what is the current? Current I4 is also moving away from the junction, so it is minus I4. And I5 is also moving away from the junction, so it is minus I5. This is equal to 0. Look at the statement now. The algebraic sum of the currents at any junction of a circuit is 0. So I have written all the values of current and the sum of it is equal to 0. Here I can also write this equation as I1 plus I2 is equal to, take this I3, I4, I5 opposite children. So, mean to the right side. So, in that case, minus I3 becomes plus I3, minus I4 becomes plus I4, and minus I5 becomes plus I5. Now, here, the meaning for this is, the equation is the sum of the currents. Now, the sum of the currents entering the junction is I1 plus I2, because I1 and I2 are inside, are towards the junction. Now, whereas I3, I4, I5 are moving away from the junction. So, the sum of the currents entering is equal to the sum of the currents leaving. So, this is with respect to the law of conservation of charges. Okay, electric charges. Now, charges are not created. Okay, now it is already existing, but what is happening here is the charges get transferred. That is called as conservation of electric charges. So, the sum of the charges that is entering the junction is equal to the sum of the charges leaving the junction, which is in acceptance with the conservation of electric charge. So, this is with respect to Kirchhoff's current law, or otherwise it is also called as junction rule. Hope you understand this concept very clearly, children. Now take your book. Let me read the point which is there in the textbook, children, page number 107. Kirchhoff's first rule, it states that the algebraic sum of the currents at any junction of a circuit is 0. It is a statement of conservation of electric charge. All charges that enter a given junction in a circuit must leave that junction, since charge cannot build up or disappear. So, you cannot create a charge nor you destroy a charge. It is already existing in a particle or in a matter. Only thing is, it is getting transferred from one place to another. That's all. Okay, ma? So, current entering the junction is taken as positive and current leaving the junction is taken as negative. That is the sign convention I was telling about. Whenever you have the arrow flowing towards the junction, you take that value to be positive. Whenever the arrow is moving away from the junction, you take that value to be negative. Okay, ma? Clear? Now, in page number 108, there is a problem related to this topic, which is easy. You can go through it once. Okay, it's a very easy problem. Some of it they have given, and only thing is the junction is not marked there. In example 2.20, there is a diagram, children. Now, in that, the center point you mark it as P, but in the explanation they have given as P, but in the diagram they have not marked the junction as P. So, that alone you do it, children. Okay, ma? Now, with this we are moving on to the second law. The second law is called as Kirchhoff's voltage or loop rule. Okay, so voltage or loop rule is the second rule. So let us read what is the second rule about. In a closed circuit, the algebraic sum of the product of current and resistance of each part of the circuit is equal to the total EMF included in the circuit. The algebraic sum of product of current and resistance. So, current and resistance is I into R. So, in a closed, now here the circuit should be a closed circuit. Whenever we discuss about voltage law, you should take a closed circuit, which is very, very important. A closed loop, we'll say. In a closed circuit, the algebraic sum of product of current and resistance of each part of the circuit is equal to the total EMF. Total EMF is the voltage included in the circuit. This rule follows from the law of conservation of energy for an isolated system. Okay. Now, in order to understand this, I am going to do some problems. I am going to have some circuit diagrams which are complicated, I'm going to apply this algebraic sum of product of current and resistance. So let us consider a circuit where you have so many number of resistors, so many number of cells. In that case, whenever you take about, what should be the value is the product of current into resistance is equal to the EMF included in the circuit. That is the second law. Okay, and this is also this follows the law of conservation of energy. Again, conservation of energy is neither created nor destroyed, but it is transferred from one place to another. Here in this case, whatever energy that has been produced by the cell, it is transferred among the resistors. This is what we are going to prove now. Okay, so we need to follow again some conventions for applying this Kirchhoff's second rule. So what are the conventions? How the conventions are explained? I'm going to do this. Now listen, this is a very, very important diagram, children. Now whenever we talk about, now we are going to have 4 conventions here. Look at the first diagram, children. Now in a circuit you may have a cell or a battery. A cell or a resistor. Suppose let us say that there is a resistor of resistance R. Now the direction of current is along this, that is, this is point A and this is point B. So if the direction of current is from point A to point B, in that case, when the current is passing through this resistance, now current always, you know that current always flows from higher potential to a lower potential. So when it is reaching this resistance, now this point of the resistance is said to be at a higher potential and this point of the resistance is said to be at lower potential. Yes or no? So in that case, current will be moving from a higher potential to lower potential. So in that case, you take the value of V to be, when you measure the voltage, it is taken as plus I into R. Clear, ma? Right? Now when the moving, suppose if your path is along the direction of the current, when your path is along the direction of current, then V is taken as plus IR, that is going from A to B. Now look at the second diagram. Now here also the direction of current is from left to right, but your path is from right to left, that is you are going in the direction opposite to the direction of current. Then in that case, when you measure the potential is taken as minus IR. Look at the diagram. You are able to understand the difference between these two diagrams. Now here your assumed path and the actual path of the current are there in the same direction. You take the value of V to be plus IR. Now here your value, your direction and the actual direction of the current, they are there in the opposite direction. So in that case, when you measure the potential, it is going to be minus IR, children. Okay, so this is in the case of a resistor connected in a circuit. Now here we are going to a cell. So a circuit, as I told you already, a circuit involves so many cells and resistors connected. So if it is going to be a cell in the circuit and your direction is from A to B, so in that case, in this point, now this is considered to be a negative potential, this is considered to be a positive potential. So in this case, there will be the direction is along from the lower potential to the higher potential, from a lower value to a higher value. So in that case, the EMF is measured as plus I. That is when it is going from A to B. When your path is from negative potential to positive potential, then the potential is measured as plus I. Voltage here is measured as plus I, and the opposite of that is next one. When your direction is from B to A, okay, when it is from B to A, the potential here, it is at higher potential to lower potential. Here it is lower potential to higher potential. From here, when your path is from B to A, then it is from higher potential to a lower potential. Potential will be decreasing. In that case, V is taken as minus I. So this is with respect to cells, this is with respect to resistors. So this is a very, very important diagram which explains you about how the direction is represented. Resistance means how to take the value of I into R. Whether IR is positive, whether IR is negative, that can be calculated from this. And if it is going to be a cell, whether it is plus or minus, that can be determined using this. So definitely try to understand these 4 conventions very clearly in your mind. Okay, so to understand Kirchhoff's voltage law, it is better we should solve some numerical, some circuits. Then it will be easy for you to understand the laws very clearly. So let us solve the first example which is there in your textbook, children, which is example 2.22. Sorry, 2.21. Okay, so there is a circuit diagram here. Now look at the question. The following figure shows a complex network of conductors which can be divided into 2 closed loops like ACE and ABC. Apply Kirchhoff's voltage rule. Okay. Now how many resistors are here connected, children? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 resistors are there, children. 5 resistors are there and 1 cell is there. Okay. Now I am going to apply voltage rule and I am going to form an equation for a closed loop ACE and ABC. Okay, ma? So let us apply Kirchhoff's voltage rule across the first closed loop, which is, let me write, you have to choose a closed loop, which is very important. I said, in the closed loop, what is the first closed loop I take? I start from E, children. E, A, C, E. So whenever you talk about a closed loop, where you are starting, there you should end. See here, look at the diagram. I have started from E. Look at the direction, children. E to A, then A to C, C to E. So that this loop, I am talking about the loop E, A, C, E. Again E, A, C, E. So this is the loop I am talking about. So I have started with E and I have ended with E. So let us start from here. I start with E. Okay. So what is the resistor here? The value of the resistor here, resistance is R1, I1. So current direction is along this side. So current direction and my direction is along the same side. So when I write the product of current into resistance, the current along this lead, that is EA is I1 R1, correct? So I1 R1 with a plus value. Okay, ma? Right. So positive to this, it starts from positive. So I1 R1. Then again it turns here. Now again the direction of current and my direction are the same. It passes through the resistor whose resistance value is R2. Okay, ma? Is it clear? So what is the product of current and resistance here? Now this should be I2 R2. The current in this direction is I2. The resistance of the resistor in this loop, I mean in this lead AC is I2. So I will write again plus I2 R2. Now again after coming to C, it is moving back once again to E. So in this lead CE, the direction of current is along the direction of my movement. So it is again plus I3 R3. So according to Kirchhoff's voltage rule, the algebraic sum of product of current into resistance must be equal to the algebraic sum of the EMF. Now EMF, as far as here is concerned, you have only one cell. So what is the EMF of this cell is taken as psi, and when it comes here, it moves from negative to positive. So when it is from negative to positive, lower potential to higher potential, right? So in that case, psi value will be taking a positive value. So I will write psi. So this is the equation. The algebraic sum of product of current into resistance is equal to the EMF of the cell. Hope you are able to understand. Now let us move to the second loop. So which is the second loop? The second loop is again start from here. Okay, A, then B, C, again A, B, C and A. So second loop I have taken this. So start from here again in the second loop. In the closed loop, what is the closed loop? A, B, C, A. So where I have started, I have ended there. A, B, C, A. Now let us write the direction. It is I4, R4. Again plus direction of current, my direction are both same. So I4, R4 plus I5, R5. Now look here. Now when it is moving, now from here I start, I move this direction, again I move to this direction. Now I have to move from C to A, but look at the direction of current here. It is given as in the opposite direction. So in that case, actually this should not be R1, this should be I2. Okay, so as far as this arrow is concerned, now I am moving from C to A, but the current direction is from A to C. So in this case, I will have minus I2 R2, which is equal to, as far as this loop is concerned, there is no battery. Okay, ma, there is no cell connected. Look at this loop. A, B, C, A, there is no cell. So right side will be 0. So this is the equation as far as the second loop is concerned. This is how you should write applying Kirchhoff voltage law. Is it clear? We'll do one more sum. Yes. Calculate the current that flows in the 1 ohm resistor in the following circuit. Okay. So let us take the circuit. Here this is a battery. Now in this loop you have a battery of 6 volt. In this loop you have a battery of 9 volt. How many resistors are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 resistors are there. And in this you need to find out the value of current. Okay. Now value of current that flows in the 1 ohm resistor in the following circuit. So where is 1 ohm resistor? Here. You need to find out what is the value of current that is flowing. Okay. Now second diagram you have to draw. Okay. Second diagram. Because here the current values are not given. So you need to give the value of current. Now here they have started, children. Now at this junction, from this junction, start from here. This is plus 9 volt. Now the direction of current along this is taken as I1. Now it goes like this. Here it breaks up. Here the direction of current is I2. Now here it is again I1. You start from here, it goes on like this. And when it comes, it is I1, and in this lead it is I1 minus I2. So I need to find out what is the value of current I1 and I2. That is my question. Okay. Is it clear, children? Right. Direction of current. Calculate the current that flows in the 1 ohm resistor in the following circuit. So let us solve starting it. Let us do it. Okay. Now current flows from 9 volt battery. We have to say that the current is flowing from a 9 volt battery as I1, and it splits into I2, I1 in the junction according to Kirchhoff's rule. Now let us start with the loop EF. Where is the loop? Here it starts. E, F, C, B, E. Let us take this loop first. Start from E. So consider the loop. Consider the loop E, F, C, B, E. So whenever you write the loop, where you are starting, there you should end. Remember that in your mind. Okay, so let us solve. So start from E. So what is the direction of current here? It is I2. So my direction and the direction of current are the same. So what is the value of resistance here? 1 ohm. So it is simply I2. 1 into, okay, product of current into resistance. So I2 into 1 Then again we'll go to the next lead. Here the resistance is 3, the current is I1, so it is plus 3 into I1. Okay ma? Clear? Now here in this lead, battery is there, we will write it later on. The current in this lead is I1, and if this is going to be I1, here also it is going to be I1, right? So what is the resistance here? 2 ohm. So again it is plus 2 into I1. This is equal to, now here the current is moving from lower potential to higher potential, so this is plus 9. So I will write here as 9. Okay ma? Now I simplify because here I have 2 I1 terms. So this will be, when I add 3 I1 plus 2 I1, this will be 5 I1 plus I2 equal to 9. So let me take this as first equation. Right? Next, we are going to the next loop. E, A, where is the next loop? E, A, D, F, E. So again, consider the loop. Consider the loop starting from E once again. So let us write E, A, D, F, A. So this is the second loop, children. Okay ma? Right, now we'll start from here. Now here this is the battery. Okay, now here I don't have any resistor, but the current is I1 minus I2. In this lead also I don't have any resistor, but in this lead I have a resistor 3 ohm. So what is the current in this lead also? It is I1 minus I2. So here product of resistance into current. So 3 into I1 minus I2. Okay ma? Right, next come look at carefully here. So current is flowing here. In this lead it is from A to D, here from D to F. But look at the direction. Here it is from, actually my assumed direction is from F to E. But the actual direction of the, look at the direction, it is I2 which is coming down. So in this case, the current is I2, resistance is high, but my direction is opposite to the direction of current. So in this case, I will have a minus sign into 1 into I2. Okay ma? Okay ma, is it clear now? Now here next, this is the product of current in resistance. What is the battery here? Now battery is from, again when I come this side, here is the direction of current. So negative to positive. So this will be plus 6. Okay ma? So simplify this. 3I1 minus 3I2 minus I2 equal to 6. Okay, so I have 2 I2 terms here. So 3I1 minus 4I2 equal to 6. So this is my second equation. Okay, now you have to go for mathematical simplification. Solve equation 1 and equation 2. Take these two equations, solve in your notebook and find out the value of I1. I1 value is found to be 1.83 ampere and I2 value is found to be minus 0.13 ampere. Okay, so I have determined the value of I1, I2. Simplification process, definitely you have to go through, you have to do it. You have done this so many times in your max, and also simplification you should be able to do. Okay, now look at the conclusion last they have given. It implies that the current in the 1 ohm resistor flows from F to E. Okay, look, actually the value of current should be F and E, but the direction is given as I2. It should be from F to E. That is the conclusion they have given. And I2 value, of course, this is the value of the current I2 which is flowing across this resistor 1 ohm. Is it clear? Is it clear? I have discussed 2 more sums, but I will not be able to start now because when I start I will not be able to complete. So I will be doing that sum in the next class, and I will be starting with Wheatstone's network. Okay. So today your homework is, please go through this Kirchhoff's current rule and voltage rule. Okay, write those equation along with the sign convention. This sign convention diagram I want you to draw, write it in words. Write it in sentences, and both the rules, current rule, then in current rule we go for conservation of charges, then voltage rule, then sign convention, and also we go for conservation of energy. So all these things you will write once, and apart from that try to solve the problems that I discussed now. Okay, draw the diagram and try to solve it. Okay, now close it, understand the convention, you close your book and try to solve the equations, write the equation and try to solve it. Is it clear, children? So see you with some more numericals tomorrow.